What's going on, guys? Victor here. I got a beautiful snowy grouper caught with my good buddy Josh here from Heritage Excursions. This is actually the second video we filmed on our trip to Panama City. Josh runs a charter company, heritageexcursionsfl.com.
That's right.
So instead of making one video for you guys, we decided to make two. So we're gonna go and do some deep drop-in, chase some tunas. Had an absolutely great time out there, so I hope you guys enjoy. So Josh is setting us up so we get a perfect drop on whatever structure, mud bottom or boulder that these fish are sitting on, because when you're fishing so deep, 600 to 1,000 feet of water, you don't have a lot of room for error. You got to let down all that line, you got to reel it all the way back up, so you want to get exactly pinpoint on the spot, because a lot of these deep drop fish, they'll be holding on a little rock or something.
That's right. Looking for any change in the bottom, a hard spot, a rock. Found a rock here before, and it's not very big. It's probably the size of this console.
These are little lights that you put on your deep drop rig. When they get wet, they're gonna start to blink. Real popular for sword fishing and for deep dropping. Any little thing that you can possibly do to attract these fish, because they are so far down there, and I don't think there's any light down there. Deep drop rigs, standard, always have a bunch of hooks on them. We have 3 on ours, big circles. And so we've made a couple deep drop videos on the channel where we caught queen snapper and yellow eye snapper in the Bahamas. But we're after some bigger species like yellow edge grouper, snowy grouper, and that's why we got these big hooks right here. You want multiple hooks because when you're down there, now you got 3 shots of hooking a fish, whereas if you rip it off, if they rip off the bait one time and you only got 1 hook down there, now you're fishing on credit. Nice big lead, 3 pounds, because you want your bait and your rig to be straight up and down the entire time. You don't want it drifting way out there, and you're gonna have a lot of slack in your line when you have 600 feet out.
No, we're chunking it up right now. We're using big, pretty good sized chunks, 1/4 into 3s on the fillets. And then we're gonna put it down, but these are Boston mackerel. I don't know if I said that in the beginning. But Boston mackerel chunked up. We'll probably have some squid too, use the heads and everything. Just trying to get it stinky, get them attracted, get them all riled up, you know? Make them hungry.
I'm gonna send a little variety pack down there. Nice stinky Boston mackerel. Big hook, look right here through the eyeballs. We'll go through a little bit part of the flesh, so it's stuck in there. And these deep drop fish, they'll have no problem sucking it up. These grouper, they got real big mouths. And then for the other 2 hooks, we'll just do a good chunk. And like Josh just said, elephants eat peanuts. You got to think these fish probably aren't that picky because there's not much down there for them to eat. So when they get a good free meal, I think they hop on the opportunity.
All right, we just hit the bottom. So watch, I'm gonna pull it out of the mud. See how it just came out? Did you see the rod? And I'm gonna drop it back down to the bottom. Fired it down there, hit the bottom, probably waited 30, 40 seconds. Felt just a little tap tap, came up on it real hard, set the hook. I backed him way off. There's no point pulling him off now. We're fishing a real small piece of rock, a lot of mud. He's not gonna run us down in the bottom. If I had to guess, he'll probably start floating here shortly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's good and angry.
No, go ahead. I guess you got a long ways.
Yeah, it's gonna be a minute.
Getting close. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Want that gas?
I got one right here. Look at
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
big old snowy.
Wow.
Look at that thing.
Got him.
Wow.
How about that?
That's bigger than 3
Oh.
4 pounds, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd
Panama
say
City's coming through.
Team PC. Man,
That's
what a
sick,
fish.
Josh.
Wow. Look at that thing.
Epic.
604 foot of water.
Beautiful.
in his mouth like it's a bat.
Yeah.
First deep drop species. I've never even seen a snowy grouper, and real cool looking fish. I mean, I don't know how this couldn't get you excited. Look at this thing. To think that this thing lives down there in 600 feet of water, and correct me if I'm wrong, Josh, but this is your favorite eating fish.
Snowies and yellow edges are my favorite. All your deep water fish, I love them. I like this more than regular bottom fishing. I find it's a little more technical. Some people think it's boring because, oh, you're using an electric reel, it's not real sporting, but that electric reel, we can fish a lot more places, increase our chances. It's a little different for me, and I absolutely love it.
You notice how, look, since we brought him up, you see these little white spots coming up? It's that snowy grouper right there. Sometimes you bring them up, and I've seen pictures where there's just covered in white spots.
Yeah, for sure. It really depends on how hard he fights and how hard you bring him up. I tend to bring him up a little slower than a lot of people. I just don't see a need in risking pulling him off. That is a beautiful fish.
Oh yeah.
So cold.
Nice.
We got what? I don't know. All I know is I got a blackfin on, baby. Oh yeah, signature blackfin. So we were going from spot to stop looking for another deep drop spot, and we saw a bunch of fish just jumping out of the water, and it turned out to be a nice school of blackfin tuna. So Josh had some poppers, we tied them on, and we just kept trying to chase down the school and just toss into the middle of the action, and I got smoked. Oh yeah, baby, sing for me, sing. So oftentimes when you guys are out here, you'll run into schools of tuna, right?
Not very often, but when it happens, it's really cool. A lot of times we'll catch one on the way up bottom fishing, and you catch that one and the rest of them follow them up, and that's when we throw these poppers, live minnows if we have them, anything they'll eat.
Working, they're blowing up right over there.
Signature tuna pinwheel. Tunas will get sideways and they'll do this. Big circles, and you'll see those big tail beats at the tip of your rod. Not the ideal setup to be fighting them on.
Do what?
I said, I'll take some sushi.
Yeah.
What is that?
Oh man.
Is that a king? That's long, isn't it?
Oh man.
Oh, he's getting sharks right here at the boat.
Oh no! You
Reel that
stupid! You stupid shark!
Oh no.
Save the sharks.
Oh,
Dang it.
Look at this stupid shark.
look at that. Would have been such a nice blackfin.
Save the sharks.
It's just so sad.
There's not enough sharks.
Hey, there's some good sushi on that blood.
Yeah, hold on.
You knew it too, Vic.
What?
You knew that he was gonna get sharks.
Yeah.
You felt it going up.
I felt it go straight up. He was getting chased. So we're kind of just cruising around. Josh has the boat in gear, kind of just doing circles, and every once in a while we'll see the tunas pop up. And then we're just casting stuff like this. This is a popper. And it's nice to have a nice top bait because the tuna are coming up and crashing flying fish or sardines or whatever it may be, and you just kind of cast into the frenzy and they think it's an injured bait fish, but we haven't really seen them pop up in a while. And every time we go to reset the deep drop gear, we see the tuna pop up, so we'll see what happens.
Talk to us.
This is a grown one right here.
Ooh.
Come on, let's go.
I can barely see that line.
You're good, you're good. You're right on top of him. You're right on top of him.
Wow.
Listen to it scream.
So now it's a race before the shark gets it, right?
This one, yeah, you're right. If it's the big one, I saw skyrocket on it though, man. It's gonna take a big shark to eat him.
Wow.
He is not happy.
You think he's getting chased? going down, huh?
Yeah. He's digging, that's for sure. How much line is on here? Oh my God!
Holy moly!
We might get spooled. Man, this reel's getting hot.
Wait, how much line is on here? Yeah, it doesn't look like much is left.
No, he's tight. God. Oh.
Did it pull or break off?
You peeled up.
I think it pulled.
You were getting smoked. That was either a huge tuna or it got sharked at the very end.
That thing was
Yellowfin?
giant. It was giant.
Josh thinks it was a yellowfin. That'd be epic.
I saw it eat. It was a big tuna.
If that was a blackfin, that was a world record blackfin. I'll just go ahead and tell you right now. That thing was giant.
This long if he was
No
an inch.
way.
He came all the way out of the water, skyrocketed on that thing.
You should change the name of your business to Epic Excursions.
Oh my goodness. Or no.
There's no 30-pound tuna that'll do that. That thing was over 30 all day. Over 40 probably.
Yeah, we don't have it anymore.
The second half of the day, we really wanted to focus on deep dropping, and Josh pulled up this stud snowy grouper. And we tried a bunch of different spots, but I guess it was just a real slow bite. Josh talked to some of the other charter guys, and hardly anyone was bringing in fish, right?
Yeah, they said it was a little slow, but it's something we offer. It's a year-round fishery here. It's something we can try anytime. If you want to give it a shot, give us a call. Check out the website. We'd love to give it a chance.
And whatever Calvin hooked on that popper, Josh said he thinks it was a yellowfin.
I saw it eat, and it was probably 50, 60 yards off the bow, and it was definitely a yellowfin, and it was angry.
It was very angry. 400 yards of line gone off the Van Stall, so we'll never see that fish, but those are the fish you remember, the fish that you don't catch.
Yeah.
First thing I'm gonna do right here by the pec fin, is kind of gonna go down to that anal fin, curve right here, around towards the head and up into the head. And we always, whenever we fillet any fish, we just look for the head meat and the soft part where it ends. Then once you got that done, we're just gonna take the tip of our knife and just work down the length of the fish. Nice sharp knife makes it super easy. All the way to the tail. And once you have that, you can just take your knife, rest it on the fish's spine, and just start working your way up. And you guys will see, this is beautiful fillets. They don't call them snowy grouper for nothing. They got a bunch of white spots on them, but also just the flesh of this fish is literally snow white. So when you get to this part right here, you got a set of pin bones that attach to the rib cage. You kind of want to lift up, and you got to give it some oomph and break through those pin bones right there. Above the rib cage, there's the rib cage right there. We go on the other side of it, and the backbone, slide down. Always want to go over that rib cage. And there it is. There's the first half of your snowy grouper fillet. They're very slimy, so I highly recommend squirting them off from time to time. So here is the other half. Well, keep them on the fillet table. Here's the other half of our snowy grouper, and I don't know how to describe it. You know when you just get a good piece of fish and you're excited to eat it? That's what this fish is like. It's a lot of people's favorite. These eyeballs, the reason they're exploded, we caught this fish in 600 feet of water. When you bring a fish up from that deep, fish regulate their buoyancy through their swim bladder or their air bladder. When you bring them up too fast, those gases, the air doesn't have time to compensate for it, so that gas expands because it's been under a lot of pressure, and it forces their guts and their eyes to just kind of just seep out of them. So that's, and the process is called barotrauma. So we got our two sides of our snowy grouper. We got the cheeks out. And if you guys are interested, you can save 20% off all Dexter knives. This is a 6-inch curved boning knife. I'll have it linked below. Use my code Landshark at dexteroutdoors.com. Now I'll catch you guys in the kitchen. So we're gonna start out doing a little spinach puree for tonight's recipe. Bag of spinach going in some boiling water. We're gonna blanch it real quick. And I'm very excited because last time we were here, Josh and Lauren were very kind to us, but this time we actually get to cook for them. And I love cooking for people. Spinach doesn't need long, less than a minute. It cooks real quick, wilts down. I just want it to stay nice and bright and green. So I'm just gonna drain it, and then we're gonna puree it in a little bit. Spread of grouper fillets. And I'm just gonna season one side with the best blackened seasoning in the world, Chef Paul's. So lather it on there. These are gnocchi. They're like a little potato pasta dumpling. Love cooking with them. I'm gonna try something new this time. So I'm gonna pre-cook them. We got a pot of boiling water. We're gonna cook them, take them out, get any of the excess moisture out, toss them with some mushrooms, caramelized onions, bacon bits in the bacon grease, and try to get them nice and crispy. So in here we got, this is for the crab meat stuffing, we got 1 beaten egg, some cream cheese, and some mayo. So this is freshly caught local blue crab from Panama City from Tarpon Dock Seafood. Josh took us there. Real cool operation, a bunch of just commercial boats lined up, and the guys actually unload the fish there and sell it right there. It's like a little fish market, really neat. So we're gonna add our lump crab meat to that mixture. Toss it in our cream cheese, mayo, egg. We're gonna add some fresh scallion to our crab meat stuffing. Some panko for some crunch and some texture. And then you cannot do crab meat stuffing without some Old Bay. And then we just toss. All right, I'd like to propose a toast. Old friends and new, the Panama City crew, you guys have been very hospitable. Met some new friends, Calvin, Morgan. We really appreciate you guys, so cheers.
Yes.
So last time we were up here, we went to this really cool brewery called History Class. They're all about showing like the local culture and how the city was built. So a big shout out to them. They sent us a bunch of beers, and they had seriously some of the best bar food. Homemade fresh pork rinds. And then this stuff right here, a little pimento cheese spread dip with some fresh cracked pepper crackers.
Alabama firecrackers.
Alabama firecrackers.
So good.
And Brooke really wanted me to do this on video because apparently I always like the crunch. Mmm. Mmm. It's good stuff.
It's all about the crunch.
Oh, man.
All about the crunch. So if you guys are in the Panama City area, I know I've talked a lot about like local businesses, but seriously, check them out. Panama City got hit really hard during Hurricane Michael, and I really look up to Josh for what he's doing. He's so passionate about his city and the local businesses, and he really wants to bring it back. And there's such a big sense of community in this town, and this brewery like completely embodies that. So if you guys are in the Panama City area or local, check them out. I'll have it linked below. All right, time for the spinach puree. This is the spinach that we blanched earlier. Try to soak out all the liquid out of there. 1.5 garlic cloves. Don't want to overdo it at first. And then this is some heavy cream, just to give it some fat content and some body. So in the wok that we're gonna do the crispy gnocchi, I have some diced white onion. We're crisping up. This is in the bacon grease. Throwing away bacon grease should be a sin. Use it up. It's good natural animal fat with a lot of flavor. And then we got a nice hot non-stick pan we're gonna add some olive oil to here. It's gonna start smoking here in a second. We are smoking hot on this. Blackened side down, the nice side, not the bloodline side. Down in the non-stick, nice and hot. And we're gonna do it in 2 batches, because if you do too much at once, you drop the heat of your oil in your pan and you're not gonna get that nice sear. We got our mushrooms going in the same wok we did the onions. We're gonna cook these down, and I don't want to cook the mushrooms and the onions together. These mushrooms are gonna release a ton of water. So we're kind of doing things in steps. This is what the grouper is gonna look like. You guys are gonna see a real nice crispy. This is what you mean by pan-seared. When you pan-sear fish, flip it over, you cook it partially, and you get that nice crust with whatever seasoning you want.
Inside of abalone shell inside of
Yeah.
It's handy.
Nope.
Well, why don't you?
Look at that.
No, abalone.
This is the lump crab stuffing we're gonna put right on top of that grouper. We're also gonna top it with a little bit of panko. And then you gotta finish it off with some Old Bay. We're not, most of the fish is cooked, it's like 90% cooked. We're basically just heating that crab stuffing through and heating the fish through, just so it stays nice and warm. All right, so we're gonna crisp up the gnocchi real quick. And I don't really have a big enough pan to do it in one batch, so I split it up between the wok and the non-stick. Kind of just coat them in oil and see how it goes. And then we're just gonna toss in our mushrooms, our onions, and our bacon from earlier, and kind of just mix it all together. Okay, so here's how we're gonna start out this dish. This is our spinach puree. Heated it back through on the stovetop. And then you have a nice piece of snowy grouper with your lump crab meat. And that's dish number one.
Yeah, Morgan just looked at me like, you never make me anything like that.
Well, as you can see, it was terrible. I loved it. I don't really even like mushrooms. I ate all the mushrooms. They were fantastic. Spinach puree was good. Of course, the snowy grouper was good. If there was more, I'd probably go get seconds.
I couldn't fit seconds in my stomach, all right, but I would. Man, it was meaty, man. It's really good. And I mean, we talked about it. I don't really like spinach all that much, but this stuff was delicious. The spinach was puree, I think it right. Mm-hmm. Just making sure I said that right. But yeah, no, it was really good. I thought the gnocchi was good. I mean, I know she was obsessed with gnocchi and was like excited the whole night.
Yeah, it was super filling. It was really good.
Yeah, I thought it was delicious.
I think it tasted like crap. Should go do it again. No, I liked it. It's a great thing after driving all day long.
Everything was absolutely delicious. The crab meat on top of the snowy grouper was delicious, but everything was really good. And thank you to everyone for being here at dinner, and to Josh and Lauren for letting us stay at their house and taking us fishing, and just good time all around.
So at Heritage Excursions, this is what we sell. I want you to come, fish with us, catch something, go home and enjoy it with your family. This is why we're in business. My dad shared this with me. His dad, my Uncle Cleve, shared it with him, and I want to share it with my son, my wife, and I want to share it with you. Come give us a chance. I can't guarantee we'll catch a fish, but I can guarantee we'll have a good time and you'll make an awesome memory.
Wow, you can't top that one.
Can't
top that one. I can't top that. Seriously, such a good group of people. I want to thank everybody who made this trip possible. Josh, Lauren, so inviting and hospitable. The fish was great. I mean, you can't beat snowy grouper. There's those big flakes. Those deep water fish are so good. Brookie, thank you so much. Brooke's been such a big help. We always help each other, but Brooke's just been an all-star this whole trip. And for those of you guys who don't know, we literally went straight from New England to Panama City. We're finally going home tomorrow, so check out Josh's stuff. I'll have it linked below. Book a trip. Like he said, you're not just booking a fishing trip, you're booking a memory and some family time. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Wendell, any last words?
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You go kiss?
Little kiss. Mwah.
No.